Parsha v'eschanan. Moshe here implored Hashem at that time, saying, "V'eschanan el Hashem be'es hachiv le'amor." I implored Hashem at that time, saying, "My Lord Hashem Elohim, you have begun to show your servant your greatness and your strong hand. For what power is there in heaven?" So we see here that Moshe requests that he would like to enter into the land. He prays to Hashem. And in verse 26 of Perek Gimel, chapter 3, it says, "But Hashem became angry with me because of you. Vayis aver Hashem bi lema'anechem velo shama elai. Vayomer Hashem elai rav lach," which means it is too much for you. But Hashem became angry with me because of you, and he did not listen to me. Hashem said to me, "It is too much for you. Do not continue to speak to me further about this matter." Hashem tells Moshe, enough. Rav lach. What's interesting about these two words, rav lach, we have a resh and a bet. And the sages say that Moshe, he wanted to enter into the land. He says in verse 25, "Let me now cross and see the good land that is on the other side of the Jordan. This is the good mountain and the Lebanon." The sages say the mountain refers to the Temple Mountain, Jerusalem. Lebanon too is an epithet for the holy temple. Rashi, it is called Lebanon from Lavan, white, because it provides atonement and thus whitens sins. So really, the sages are saying Lebanon really refers to the Beis HaMikdash. And Moshe, he wanted to enter in the land to build the Beis HaMikdash. But what would happen? There would be Moshe would become Mashiach, and there would be no more generations. And Hashem says, enough, do not request this anymore. Why? Rav lach. And the Midrash Tanchuma actually quotes a similar verse, a verse that kind of does a midrashic explanation of this in Proverbs. In Mishle, in chapter 18, verse 23, it says, "The poor man speaks beseechingly." It says, "Tachununim yadaber rash." The poor man speaks beseechingly. The rich man's answer is harsh. Ve'ashir ya'aneh azot. Ve'ashir ya'aneh azot. Interesting about this word azot. But let's go back. What does this mean? The Midrash really compares Moshe to the poor man who uses entreaties, and Hashem to the rich man. It compares Hashem as the rich man because of his harsh response. "It is too much for you. Do not speak to me." How does the Midrash justify this in such a way? Well, the Jews eagerly anticipate the ultimate redemption through Mashiach. He will be a descendant of King David. And King David's ancestors, who comes through Ruth and Boaz. So here we have a hint. Resh Beit. Hashem says enough, because Ruth, Resh stands for Ruth, and Bet, Boaz. Ruth and Boaz still need to come. King David still needs to come. And you can say, okay, that's a bit of a fluke. Anyone could do that with a Resh and a Bet. But we see the Midrash even compares to the Proverbs, and it says azot. He answers harshly. And the Ein Zayin are really the two last letters of Boaz. You have Bet, Ein Zayin, Boaz. And you also have Rav, Resh, Vav, Tav. The last two letters are the last two letters of Ruth. So the Midrash is really comparing the poor man entreating the rich man. And we see a hint to a harsh response because Ruth and Boaz still are going to bring Mashiach. And so Moshe has to die. He's not able to enter the land. He's not able to enter the land so that King David can come. Mashiach, there's still work to do. And so, in a way, it's a blessing because we wouldn't be here today and more can enter in. And we see here the Midrash says, similarly, Hashem caused Moshe to be buried together with the generation of the wilderness in order that his merit protect them and ensure their resurrection at Techias Hamesim, resurrection of the dead. And so that was just a little gem. I love sharing. I think it's amazing. May we all speedily wait for Mashiach and the rebuilding of the Beis HaMikdash. Shavua Tov.